Oh, hey there, guys. Hey, I'm going to wait a second to have a chit chat for those that are actually going to watch this live. Hope you guys are having a super fantastic Sunday night. If you can't read my shirt, this is a friend of mine from Ohio. Make Ready Firearms. Great dude, husband and wife team running FFL down there. If you're in the Cincinnati area, look him up. Make Ready Firearms LLC to buy and sell legally. And he's a gunsmith as well. Good stuff. I just thought I'd do a quick video on getting ready for the range. I'll try to answer questions as we go. Azusa, I think there's a few spots left for Azusa, which is in, what, February? I believe so. Shelton's going to be awesome. Shelton will be filled soon. That class, for some reason, always fills up. By the way, I'm having a beer, so I don't want to hear any nonsense because I'm in the gun room. I'm an adult. I'm in my space. If you don't like it. January 4th and 5th? Yeah, I guess you're right. That one should be close to being filled. I'm going to grab something. So, I want to talk. By the way, how's my audio? I'm mic'd up. How's my audio? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. Hey there, Tom. How are you? 99.9 thousand subs. Cool. Cool. So I thought I'd talk for a couple minutes on getting ready to go to the range, right? Thank you for the audio check. Thank you for the audio check. So at some point in history, a guy was sitting down and he's going to create his YouTube profile. And he's like, okay, I can call myself by my name, Mr. Smith. I can call myself Ninja Warrior. I can call myself, Sex God. No. This guy decides to call himself. Where'd you go? Sir Puddings. Sir Puddings. I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I don't know if I would have done anything different myself had I reconnecting. Did I lose you guys for a minute? You know what? I'm going to real quick check my check which router my system is set up upon. Stand by with me. I'm on the good one. I wonder why we lost that. Sorry about that. Did I get grainy or anything? Am I Italian? I could be. That's another story altogether. So dudes or dudettes, they go train, they go to the range, and then by the time they get to me, meaning like I've met them in a class, they tell me, hey, or they call or they email, they say, I got this problem, I'm not getting better, or I've been training for years, I've shot thousands of rounds and just stuff's not changing. What do I got to do? And really, the issue isn't that you need to train more. It's what are you training, right? What are you doing when you are training? The efficacy. So look that word up if you're not familiar. Not efficiency. I'm not saying efficiency, efficacy. When we think of the word efficacy, oftentimes efficiency comes to mind, as it should. If something is efficient, it's meaning that it's doing work well, right? It's doing it with minimal effort. Efficacy doesn't mean minimal effort, but it means that the work is giving you a measured, desired result. So we could say my training has poor efficacy, or my training is giving me good efficacy. It has good efficacy. It is rendering measurable results. And I think that's a big issue because, hey, this stuff costs money. You go buy a couple boxes of ammo and you go to the range. I got to grab one more thing. I'm going to keep talking. You go buy this stuff and then you go out and you train. Maybe you go to a class. Maybe you go to a class with the best dudes in the world, right? Some superstar shooter guys, right? If you're not getting what you should out of it, that's on you, nobody else. So I'm going to outline a plan for you. And I'm going to say you only have enough money to buy 100 rounds of ammo. So I've grabbed a box of Supervel Hush Puppy, 100 rounds to show you. So you've got 100 rounds of ammo. By the way, side note, tomorrow I'm going to the range. I'm going to shoot me a few pearls. If you're not familiar with the pearls, you'll have to look those up on our website, carrytrainer.com/pearl. Oh man, that's annoying when somebody leaves the cap off of a Sharpie. Bad form, bad form. This thing's probably toast. Yep, dried out. Brutal. All right, so you got 100 rounds of ammo. You've got some free time to go to the range. What do? First thing before you do anything, ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Does that come in reverse for you guys? Or does the processing through YouTube flip it around the right way? What do I want? What do I want out of the training? What am I hoping to get out of my investment of energy when I head off to the range to shoot? If you go to martial arts class, if you go to the gym, you should have a plan. You should not just show up and be like, all right, I'm going to do some lifts. I'm going to do some jumping jacks. I'm going to, out of breath already, out of breath. Okay, calm down. Now we're going to do some stuff again. No, you get a plan if you get good results and you stick to the plan. So what do I want? If you only can do 100 rounds, say once a month, that'd be better than most. Well, that's not that much, Mickey. What's 1,200 rounds a year? That's a case plus of ammo, 1.2 cases of ammo every year. An average cop shoots 50 rounds, 100 rounds a year. So you're shooting 10, 11, 12 times the amount of ammo as the average police officer. Why do I use that as a metric? Because those are the people that you're calling to save you. So if you can afford 100 rounds, here's a good breakdown. Now, if certain things I'm going to list here, if you're really good at them, go to the next thing. So one thing you're always going to work is good mechanics. Number one, good mechanics. So every time you draw, I better just throw a gun on so that we're on the same page here. Every time you draw, every time you load, unload, make ready, etc., you're going to use excellent gun handling skills. Easy peasy, right? Not hard to do. We'll grab this. Easy. So every time I grab the gun, I am going to ensure that I've got a good master grip as I'm coming in and out of the holster. Let's get you guys back just a smidge. You know what? Let me just really also clean you off a little bit. There we go. I think that's better a little bit. So we're going to ensure that we are doing good mechanics. As I access that gun, I'm high and tight. If I'm going to manipulate the gun, I'm going to use good, proper process. A seat lock tug cycle. If I need to, I'm going to press check, whatever your system is, but know what it is. If I need to engage, I'm going to ensure that my grip is sure. I'm going to feel what's happening in the gun. I'm going to be mindful and pay attention. Good, smooth trigger presses. Right? So no matter what I'm doing, I want to make sure that the mechanics that I'm using are fundamentally as sound as I can make them. As fundamentally sound as the best practices that are known today. Period. There's no reason you shouldn't have those because that information's known. When you holster, you're going to do it slowed, controlled, and ready to go. So awesome mechanics. Number two, you're going to hold yourself accountable for accuracy. So you're going to work some group shooting. I would say if you've got 100 rounds, shoot 2 magazines or 20 rounds, depending on, I go to the East Coast, the West Coast, you got a lot of places with 10-round mag limits. We're going to say 2 mags or 20 rounds of group shooting. I'm just putting this down so we can recap it. And I'm kind of coming up with this off the cuff based on what I would do. So you've now got 80 rounds left. What are you going to do? And let's go back to group shooting really quick. Group shooting is not, okay, this is the boring part. Boom, 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 boom. There's my 20 rounds. Done. No, you are going to get yourself a target. I like to use in class, because I have them, I use target pasters, right? That becomes the target for the students. I use them myself. It's about 3/4 of an inch square. You need not have this. You can take a pen, right? And you can make yourself a small target like so. And that becomes your target. By the way, if you download our Pearl target, that number 1 or the 2s, they're small enough that you have to get a good sight picture. Also, in the print are like Z and I's logo, and there's some smaller 1-inch logos all over the paper, but you don't need that. As much as it's fun to shoot those, you don't have to have it. So you're going to group shoot a small target. Back to the mechanics, back to step 1. That gun is going to come out of the holster. You've set your targets up. You've loaded your gun. Seat lock, tug, cycle, press check if that's what you do. Return to the holster. Now get yourself in training mode. So we're talking efficacy. Every single thing I do when I'm at the range should support the desired outcome. The desired outcome is I want to ingrain the best skills possible so that if I need them, if I need to defend myself or somebody else, the things I have ingrained, how that gun comes up and out of my holster is smooth, efficient, swift, sure, ready to go. So as I come out of the holster to shoot that little group, even though I'm going to take my time, I'm going to get that gun out quick, sure. I'm going to find that little tiny target, and I'm going to think to myself, sights, trigger, press, 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 press. The gun goes off. I'm not going to jerk the gun back in. I'm looking so I can see you. I'll assess through my sights what's happening. We'll do it again. Press, 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 press. Gun goes off. I reacquire. And I can assess what's happening while looking through the sights, or if you're a dot guy, through the dot, right? I can see through the dot what's happening downrange. Once I get through those, maybe I'm only going to shoot 4 or 5 for a minute. I get to number 5. Takes a lot of concentration if you're doing this right. Even if you've missed, for you to be getting better, you need to, even if every shot that you sent downrange sucks, you need to immerse yourself into the next shot. Whatever happened previous goes away. Now all you get is what's going to happen with that next shot. So I'm back in that good grip. High, tight. I'm on the sights, prep, pressure, pressure. The gun breaks. If I'm going to take a break, decock, whatever you got to do, safely reholster. And I'm going to go through that for 2 mags, 20 rounds. What you'll find if you do that once a month, once a week, couple that with some dry fire, 5-6 yards, 3 yards, the distance of an average bedroom, 15 feet, 10 feet, you're going to be able to hit that all day long. Mickey, I don't need to spend my time getting good to shoot something that small when I need to hit center mass. Shut up with that. Your job as the shooter, as the director of the weapon, is to be as efficient and proficient with it as possible. So you want to get to the point where you could be standing at a target and I could shoot, and then you can shoot one into my bullet hole. That's where you want to go. That's what's going to start to develop really good skills, especially when we get to the next thing. So each time I'm coming in and out of the holster, I'm still working these good, slow, smooth, fundamental motions. Fundamental meaning foundational. They are the pillars, right, that hold up what we're doing with the weapon. If you're doing this just for target shooting, fine. The end result should be that everything you do should support the outcome. And in this case, it's to fight with a gun for your life and the life of another. So we've got now in honing and ingraining good mechanics. Number 2, accuracy trumps all. Speed is secondary to accuracy. So when we start to talk about speed, we have to have good efficient now, not that other word of efficacy, but now efficient. Efficient meaning minimal waste. So as we're working good fundamental movements, good foundational movements, I have to think about, is my movements, so for how I'm carrying at this moment, a little more cant to the camera. Sorry for the bumpy bump. So at this moment, if I'm going to draw from wherever my hands are those movements as efficient as possible? Is there extra movement in my body, right? Shouldn't be. And I can work that in dry fire at home. And then when I'm at the actual range, I don't need to spend my range time doing what I can do in dry fire. Pardon the camera bumping again. So now we're going to spend some of our time drawing while we're shooting. So we're going to imagine you guys are the target. The way that the camera works, the distance that I am to you in reality is only about 5 feet, but it looks much farther. So where the guns are back here, it looks like maybe we're 5 yards, at least it does when I'm looking at myself on the screen. So get yourself a target. A great target is a half of a piece of printer paper. So super cheap, half a piece of printer paper. So 8.5 by 11 broke down to a half a piece, gives you something very analogous to the A zone on a USPSA target. I don't think I have one down here, or do I? I do. Right here. So here's the A zone on a USPSA target. I believe that that's about 6 and some change by 11 and some change. It looks like it's 5 7/8, give or take. There's some metric going on here, by like 10 15/16. So for all intents and purposes, we can say 6 by 11. So then, if you break this guy in half, you are training with a even smaller target that's really cheap, and you don't need anything. You don't need a fancy backer. But there's nothing wrong with having that. So what I usually do, and if you come to our class, this is usually the backer that I use because it's so standard. And I'll just break one of these down to do it. So we've got, know what you want, right? Gonna head to the range. I'm gonna do it. I'm just doing for you exactly what I would be doing at the range. So you've got that now, right, kids? Men, women. Can we see it? Yeah, perfect. So you're gonna have that downrange. You've got your gun loaded in the holster, however you carry it. And now you're gonna work through two mags or 20 rounds. So for some of you, that could be 30 rounds. You gotta know how much ammo you got, but we're gonna say between 20 and 30 rounds. I'm gonna go with 20. I think 20's a good number. So now we're gonna work in drawing. And when we're gonna draw, this is what it's gonna look like. That's your target zone. You're gonna bring the gun up, mount, give me a hit. At 5 yards, you should be able to hit this 1.5 seconds all day long, all day long, all day long. Don't worry about going blazing fast. If you have not had formal training, do not take this video as your training and then shoot yourself and blame me. Seek out real training. But no matter what you're doing, speed does not trump the ability for you to be safe, your ability for you to be safe, meaning not to shoot yourself or somebody else that shouldn't be shot. So what you're thinking about, again, you've got that downrange, draw, find your sights and shoot. And I can't go into the nuances of this in this video because it takes us a couple days to do this. But what I'm doing is as that gun's mounting, I find my sights about here and I prep, and the shot breaks. Go through 10 rounds just doing one shot. Boom, safely holster. Notice the mechanics don't change. I'm not going faster to get the gun put away. I'm not hurrying up so I can shoot again. I'm being mindful. We're going to go again, right? Mount, boom. So we'll go about 10 rounds through that. Then the next 10, we're going to go multiple shots. Draw, boom, boom. Safely holster, decock, whatever you have to do. Draw, boom, boom. So you're going to go through that, say 5 times, which would be 10 rounds-ish. If you got more ammo, shoot more. Boom, boom. Each time, making sure, good mechanics, good safe practices. You're going to add in now, breathing. Breathing all through your nose. No mouth breathing for this, all nose breathing. So we're going to work 20 rounds, holster. 10 single shot, 10 multi. And I'm writing multi because if you've got more ammo, shoot more, but just shoot 2 if you only are working with this 100 rounds. Same target, all right? One thing I got to add here, paste your misses, okay? I see people shoot me videos and they've got a target that just looks like Swiss cheese. You're back to not learning anything. You have no freaking idea where any of your rounds are going. As such, if you don't know where they're going, how can you change anything to improve or correct a problem if you're just making Swiss cheese? So that's what these are for, right? If you don't spend the money on these, go buy a roll of yellow masking tape from the hardware store. Paste it up. So paste the misses. So the next thing we're going to do, we're now just going to work on moving a little bit. Just a little bit, not a lot. And this isn't what we're about to work. This is not like a tactic, not like, hey, bad guy, now I'm over here. You can't shoot me because I'm not here. All we're doing is learning to tie our feet, our hands, our torso, our brain, our eyes, and the target together. So a timer is nice for this, not because you're training to shoot with a beep, but because you are training to work off of some type of stimulus. Have a training partner there with you that taps you, that says go. Maybe that shines a light on the target, but working off of some type of stimulus. So you're going to draw while you move. Find that sight and shoot. It's not looking like this. You're not doing this because you've gained nothing. We're trying to tie all those movements together. So I decide I need to go. I got to go. You draw, move, boom, right? Go 10 rounds. 10 rounds. I'm just writing it down. So this is 20 round total. So now we're at about 60. You're going to go 10 single, 10 multi. 10 single, 10 multi. So we're going to go 10 with that one, and then we're going to get to the double. Boom, boom. Notice I'm not disregarding things that we've been training pre this stage of the training. I'm still there. I'm still working that. So I'm going to continue to do those things. Why am I breathing? That lowers heart rate. That helps me center myself. It helps me take control of what's happening on the range in the world. It's one of the only things you can do to change your physiology in that moment. You cannot will your heart rate to slow down, but you can change it by metered breath. Not that. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. So we're now at about 60-ish rounds. We got accuracy that we've worked. We've got holster work. And now back to what I just said. Now we're to this moving and engaging. Each time we're doing the same things that we did previously. So far, I've got anywhere from 40 to 50 to 60 to 30 draw strokes, right? Depending on how many rounds I'm shooting. So in this training thus far today, I've got 30, 40 draw strokes, 30, 40 repetitions of me putting the gun away. That's pretty good, isn't it? So now what we'll do is I can put up 2 targets and I can draw, get one, boom, 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 boom. And I can shoot 1 or 2, 2 and 2. Sky's the limit. And that's where you're going to burn up the rest of your ammo. This is not an end-all, be-all. This is a way to spend a small amount of ammo. So 5 is going to be multi-target. And then we're going to have 6. You're going to save yourself 5 rounds. Maybe more if you've got it. If you've got, 10, that would be perfect too. And you're going to shoot a group again at the end. So this final drill, second to last drill with a couple targets up, if you don't have more than one stand, you can just put multiple targets small though. Post-it notes are great. Do I have some handy? Of course I do, because this is my range bag. So I can put, you guys have probably seen this in our videos. The fun thing is I could go like this, right? And I could go like, stand by with me, and I could go like this. Ooh, are you kidding me, you guys? Are you even kidding me? So I could do this, and if you got a partner with you, partner could call out pink, and you got to go pink, pink, and he could say pink twice, and you could go 1, 2, 3, 4. He could go yellow. Of course, you understand. He could say pink 1, yellow 2. So now you got to go boom, 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 right? Then we could do this. We could go, I just wrote random symbols on here. X, 7, O, A. Now you call out the letter. And you could say pink O. So that means doom, doom, doom. Sky's the limit. I'm just adding more thought processing to a very simple target array. And the only reason that I like this is it's simple. You could be in your backyard if it's safe to shoot there, like if you're in a farm or rural setting, shooting on BLM land, or if you're in a lane in a very simple stall. I could do these kinds of videos all day long for you guys, but I wanted to take a minute because I'm going to the range in the morning and I will shoot something similar to this. I'll probably shoot more like 250 rounds, but I'm going to run through these drills relatively quickly. And this is really basic marksmanship stuff. But if you'll notice, one thing's happening. What I'm getting through all of these is really good opportunities. I'm not going to say I'm getting good reps in, because I'm only getting an opportunity to get good reps. Training is like anything else. It's a ticket to the show, right? The outcome is whatever you make it. So when you are out training, if you are not squeezing the best that you can out of yourself, demanding, leave your freaking phone off, man. It annoys me when people go to the gym and they want to play on their phone. Not because they're stopping me from doing anything. I train in our private facility here, but are you there to train, or are you there to distract yourself and play on the phone? You're at the range, get out of your phone, get out of your head, get out what you got there to do. Then later you can get into the next thing. That compartmentalization of your time and of your mental resources is what's going to help you get better. Food for thought. That'd be like 1,200 rounds a year. If you can swing a couple cases, I guarantee if you do that, you are going to get much better. You're going to be much better than the average person out there carrying a gun. You're going to get hundreds of draw strokes. You're going to get hundreds of sight pictures, hundreds of trigger presses. And this is just the live fire. If you did all this dry fire as well, now you're doubling down. But again, you need to put in the correct movement. You need to see the right thing out in front of you. You need to make sure that you're keeping your heart rate metered. You need to make sure that you're paying attention, not just to what's going on around you, but what's going on inside of you. You guys got any questions before I cut you loose? No questions, huh? I'll wait 1 minute. So, what do you need when you go to the range? I got to have a few things. Gun, holster, target pasters, ammunition, of course, eye protection, my ear protection. I've been telling you guys about this company for years, but guys make fun of me that are super tactical. Well, tell you what, I'm not going to be the guy that's deaf as an old man. Pro Ears makes the best electronic ears on the market. Not because they tell me to say that. I've been wearing these for a decade-ish. Not this pair, but these guys right here. You guys, if you've been watching our videos, you see in many of our videos. I've had these for years. If you're into good quality ear protection, check out Pro Ears. We've got a link on our website to get a really significant discount on those. So you got to have ear protection. Target pasters is a good thing. Go with a plan, though. In addition to your gear, one thing I don't want to see you doing, you go to the range with 8 guns. You're not going to train. You're going to have fun and play. And when I go to the range to do what we're talking about, I don't take a bunch of guns. I don't want to shoot a bunch of guns. I want to shoot the gun I carry. I want to shoot the gun that's with me. You know, like if we're going to train the shotgun, I'm there with the shotty. Well, Mick, what about transitions? What about... That's not what I'm talking about, guys. If you're at the point where you're watching this video for pointers, don't worry about that kind of stuff. Think about developing smooth and effortless and sure movements with the gun. Efforts that are subconscious in nature. Efforts that make it seem effortless for you. Efforts that if that gun goes down and you've got to do something to get it back up and running, you don't have to think about it. Your subconscious says, seen this before, I got an answer, and here we go, right? Not, it's not working. Guys, Mick, ring. How's that working? I don't know what happened, guys. There must be something going on in my region. I couldn't see any of your comments. You guys, I just lost you. I lost you. Better now? While I just was letting that catch back up, I got a chance to read a few comments. And it's interesting to me. I'm going to comment. Yeah, I froze up. I don't know what's up. You know, the amazing technology that we rely on. All right, so I'm seeing some questions about different kinds of guns. Who gives a shit? Yes, there are some ranges around the southern area of Chicago. Check out Aurora Sportsman's Club. I don't care what gun you carry. There is no best gun. How do I know that? Well, because some of the best shooters in the world shoot different guns. What's the best pickup truck? Yes, some of you drive Chevy, some drive Ford. Some of you, like me, drive a Ford, and you're smarter than the Chevy and Dodge guys. Definitely smarter than the Toyota and Nissan guys, but whatever. See my argument? It doesn't freaking matter. It's a waste of energy. If you guys want to talk about that, I think in the years that I've done stuff like this, you should all know I don't care. Yeah, I'll hit the breathing up again. I literally don't care what you shoot. Find something that's safe, effective, something, when I say safe, I don't mean has a safety, something that's not known to discharge on its own, something that's not junk. I would rather buy a used Glock and spend $30 on some replacement springs than buy a gun that doesn't have good street cred, okay? Breathing. Check out my friend Brian McKenzie from PowerSpeedEndurance.com. We just did a video with Brian. It's up 4 or 5 videos ago. I had him at our class in California and had him talk. The process about breathing, I'm not going to go into his whole method because it takes too long, but I encourage you to check out his video. The long and the short of it is breathe through your nose, keep your mouth shut. If you're having to open your mouth, that should tell you something about your cardiovascular output. You're still losing me? Are you still losing me? It's a yes or a no. Son of a buck. I rarely ever have time to do these, and now it's not working. Okay. Prescription glasses, the ones that I've been wearing for years, are made by ESS. Here's my sunglass version. These are prescription eyewear. The glasses that you just saw me on, these are my sunglasses. These are 6 years old. I need to get some new ones. Oakley actually bought ESS, and recently I found out that ESS, they still exist as ESS, but I found out that Oakley does not have their line right now for the prescription eyewear, which is a total bummer because these were really good glasses. These are the ones you see me in a lot of videos where we're inside. And these are prescription. I need to order some new ones though. I go back to all the gear stuff because it doesn't matter. You're thinking about the wrong things. Who cares? I talk about this with students. Who would you rather come to your family's rescue? You're not able to come. Okay? You've got two people that can come to the rescue of your family. Oakley's highly not overrated. Oakley makes some of the best precision eyewear under the sun. See, comments like that, they kind of blow my mind. When we're talking about high quality prescription ballistic rated eyewear, they're not overrated. They're some of the best eyewear on the market. It's not my opinion, it's the quality and the testing that goes into it. If cost is a factor, for sure, they're expensive, but they're not overrated. It's ESS. Back to the thought process. Who would you rather come to the aid of your loved one? And I wear Ray-Bans most of the time. Are those overrated? Don't know. Who cares? I don't care about stuff. I care about if it works or not. You've got two people. They're going to come rescue your family. You got one that's got badass gear. And I've got lots of badass gear, and I'm happy to have it. You know, I've got some really nice stuff here. Beautiful Langdon Beretta. I've got all kinds of really nice stuff that I'm happy and blessed to have, that I work very hard for. That guy's got all that stuff. He's got the best flashlight. He's got the best holster. He's got the best portable medical kit. He's got all of it. He's even got some training. He's got some training, and he's got all this fancy ass gear. Would you rather that guy come or the next guy I'm going to tell you about? That guy? Yeah, he's got a plain Jane Glock. Maybe it's not a Glock. Maybe you're a Glock hater. I don't care. So maybe he's got a, here we go. He's got a plain Jane Taurus G2C, which I'm not a fan of, but a lot of people love. He's got a plain Jane Taurus G2C, and he's carrying that in a really simple inside the waistband holster. He doesn't have all the fancy gear. He doesn't have all of the frickin' fancy stuff to go with his not so fancy gun. But you know what he's got? He's got the ability to draw it efficiently. He's got the ability to find a sight picture on a target, be it static or moving. He's got the ability to maintain a heart rate that doesn't spike up and send him into an adrenalized state where he no longer can function and think clearly. He's got the ability to act, not on emotion, but on clear logical thought. He's got the ability to decide whether or not to shoot. He's got the ability to ascertain what's beyond the target that he's pointing at. He has the ability to ascertain, does that target have more friends with him or her? He or she, because I shouldn't just say he, has the ability to deal with what's in front of him. Who would you rather have come save your loved one? The answer is quite simple. Right? You don't even have to think about it. You know who you choose. Yet we have this circle jerk where we discuss what's better. And yeah, don't get me wrong. If you're into gear, like I'm not into sports. Guys love to talk sports. If you're into that, fine. The gun doesn't make you. If you want to talk about CZs, I've got friends that shot for Team CZ. So I can talk about their experience secondhand, but it isn't just my opinion from what I've heard, right? And I've owned all those guns. If you want to talk about tank folios or something like that, somebody put in a comment online the other day on one of our YouTube videos that basically said, all these other guns are junk, and it is proven that the CZ platform and the tank folios and STI, those are the epitome of guns. No, they're not. Actually, those kinds of guns, and if you guys own them, totally cool. They're like a race car. They require effort. I lost you on the Taurus. What did I lose you guys on? Did anybody else not understand the analogy? It's not about the gun. Those high-speed guns we're talking about, like the CZ, they require maintenance. The lightest trigger is the one that you're safe to carry, the one that's not going to make the gun go off by itself. This gun, you guys ever see the videos I've done with this? I'm not some crazy awesome shooter. This is a bone stock Glock. The only modification is a set of Ameriglow sights. There's a video of me drawing at 21 feet, drawing and putting 4 rounds into a 3x5 note card in 1.86 seconds, under 2 seconds. I could have done 5 had I whacked the trigger again, but 4's what I went to. 4 rounds in a 3x5 note card, under 2 seconds from the holster, a retention holster. You don't need that fancy shit. Yeah, the dude that bought the Taurus might have done that. In my experience, that's not how it works. He may have. The point isn't about the gear. It is mind-numbing to me, you guys, how many people. I would love to get a bunch of the people that, I wouldn't do it because it's already wasted enough of my life, but people that want to argue about, I can't believe you don't like that gun. Who gives a shit? People don't like a lot of things. I don't like freaking Cheese Whiz. You might. Who cares? So because I made a video and I talked about my opinion of a gun that I don't like, who cares? Who cares? If you're that sensitive that you can't handle it, maybe you need help. Yeah, maybe you need help. Yeah, you know, really, the most deadly men I know don't need guns. And it's not because they're badasses with their hands. It's because they have a heart and a mind that are willing, ready, and able to act. And that is the crux of the position. Taurus equals reliable. Question mark, question mark? Okay. I'm not going to waste energy talking about it anymore. It's so stupid. Is your heart ready to act? If you don't, see, here's the thing. If you don't want to go to the range and put the effort in, God, I love this gun. It's such a plain, basic gun. I put so many rounds through it a couple years ago running those drills. Oh, it just feels good. If you're not willing to go put that effort in, it says something about what you truly desire in your heart. Mick, you don't know what I desire. Well, I judge men and women by their actions, by their deeds, not by their words, not by what they type. That's your words. If you're truly trying to get better, trying to promote best practices, trying to become efficient, trying to become skilled, you would invest the energy in a way where you are honing in on increasing your skill level, where you are getting to the point where if you have to draw that gun, if you have to use hands, right, you're not going to have to think about it. The talking doesn't do that. Older I've gotten in my life, the less of an appetite I have to listen to loudmouths. I don't mean loudmouths like me. I'm talking now. I'm talking about people that just talk about shit. They just talk, but they don't do. Go. As many rounds as you choose. I don't know what that means because it's hard for me to follow all of these. No, of course that guy didn't take up a free class. And you know what? If I was in his position, I wouldn't do it either, because at the point of my life where I was a loudmouth punk and didn't shut my mouth, I would have probably cowered as well. What handgun do I consider reliable? Everyone back here. Tell you what. God, I love this, but let's get it out of the way. You know, every gun up here is a gun that somebody has carried. I don't mean like the actual gun, but let's bring you a little bit closer, guys. That's better. What is an advanced class, by the way? You know, like in our classes, we go from talking about how to load a pistol to the most complex moving and shooting drills I've ever seen anybody do. Not meaning nobody can do it, just people don't do that because it's hard and it takes effort to do it. So of all the guns up here, what do you think my favorite is? What do you think my favorite is? If I told you this, would you believe me? Because it is. This is a Smith & Wesson 686 plus. So it's a 7-shot, 357 Magnum. It is a sweet gun, man. You can just ding steel all day long. This is my favorite gun. If you said to me, Mickey, you're only going to get one gun off that whole wall, you might think I'm nuts. Hey, I tell you what, man, this thing in a holster, I can take care of frickin' business with this gun. Yes, it doesn't have the same capacity as the high cap guns. I'm not even advocating it, but I grew up shooting these things. It's reliable as any gun's gonna be, and it gets the job done. These Berettas, this gun, this has got like 50,000 rounds through it. Wilson Combat Beretta that's been gone over by Langdon, slicked and, not slicked up, but cleaned up. Where's that one Glock? Oh, it's upstairs. I've got a Glock 19 that's got to have 65,000 rounds through it. I've only done, so talking about reliability, let's break this guy down. How often are you replacing these springs in your guns? If I told you you should do it every 4,000 to 5,000 rounds, would you tell me I'm nuts? Well, that's what your manual says. So making sure that you're taking care of the springs is very important to keeping the gun working good. This gun is not meant to be shot in high volume. This gun has maybe 10,000 rounds of ammo through it. Love, love, love these little J-frames. As you can tell, there's a whole bunch of them up here. So what's reliable? Really, the problem that guns have, unless you're talking about a gun like the one that I mentioned earlier, that the companies had a lot of reliability issues and people on the internet don't want to admit to because they sunk their money in it and they got a good result, and that's awesome, but they for some reason want to forget that the companies had multiple class action lawsuits against it because of major issues. Done. Don't care. I paid for it with my own money. I'm going to go out and buy the next one and hope it works better. By the way, just to get it off my chest, people that think I'm anti-Taurus, I've done videos on this Taurus. I love it. I love it. It's a great little 22, the TX22 from Taurus. It's an awesome gun, but I'm not here to talk about that either. Most of the issues that we call a malfunction with a pistol are not the pistol. The pistol is doing what it's supposed to do. The user, the shooter, is the one doing it. People are accidentally actuating magazine releases. They've developed a grip that's so aggressive and high on the gun that as the gun cycles, they're actuating the controls, like the slide stop lever, slide lock lever rather. They're doing things like not holding the gun tight enough so that while the gun is in recoil, the gun's popping up so far that there's not enough energy to properly cycle the slide. You know, if we really lock down on a gun hard, that gun's going to cycle like this, and all or most of the energy that is needed is going to be there to allow that slide to cycle. If you've got tons of energy allowing that gun to do this, well, you now don't have enough energy to efficiently and completely cycle the action. Thus, you get failures to eject, failure to feed, stovepipes, things of that nature. So most guns, even bargain guns, are going to work pretty darn good. Yep. Now, those TXs, I have not been to Brazil. Most of those TXs, like many 22s, are problematic little bastards, though. And it's not because it's a Taurus. 22s are notoriously problematic little blasters. So, what I have found in my life at 41 years old is I would rather have one decent anything. I'd rather have one great pair of shoes than two pairs of crap. I'd rather have one good vehicle rather than three. I'd rather have, you know, a really nice jacket than three or four not good ones. Yeah, so the whole gun of the year thing, most of the gun of the year things come from magazines. Springfield XDM won the gun of the year. The SIG 365 won the gun of the year. And then remember what happened to the SIG P365 that won the gun of the year? This little P365, I did videos on this. This little gun right here has thousands of rounds through it. I have four of these. I have this one. Here's the XL. These two are still original, and then I've got one of each. They're upstairs that have been stippled by Boresight Solutions. I carry them every day. Thousands of rounds through those guns, and they're great little guns that shoot well. You find what works for you. You know, my thing is not about being tactical or making it look great. To me, it's about, does it work? You know, this is a beautiful 17 from Boresight Solutions with a red dot on it. I'm going to be honest. I don't want all this on me. I don't want it on me. I don't want all this in my pants. You can argue statistics with me. Well, I can now take this little gun and have, what, 14 rounds on board? I can get some work done with that. I can get some work done. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't carry this if you don't want to. Just means I don't want to. I want to be comfortable. I wear sport coats. I wear suit coats. Don't drop what? Carry with red dots? Yeah, man. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people carry a red dot gun. Cops carry them all over the country. I've got many concealed carry students and friends that carry. If I had to pick up one semi-automatic, it'd probably be this guy. It'd probably be this guy or one of my Glocks. This one here has thousands and thousands. This is all the mechanicals on this 19 are original. Boresight did a slide package, sights, and oversized tango down slide stop lever. But other than that, everything else on here, all the trigger and everything inside of it's, you know, original stock Glock stuff. Do some really good work with a stock Glock, or, you know, within reason when I say stock. Do I have an M&P? No, you know, I never got into the M&Ps. It's not because it's too big to carry. I carried a 17 for a long time. It's not because it's too big to carry. I'm so vested in the Glock brand, and it's not because, oh, you're a Glock fanboy. No, it's a amazingly simply engineered pistol. I am fortunate. Excuse me, I got the sniffles a little bit. I am fortunate that I have been exposed to, as a student, I have done, you know, I show this to you guys sometimes, not to, this is all a record here of training, all of this. I keep a logbook of training. I've been exposed as a student to watching. Now, if I go to a class as a student, there's 10 to 20 people there. I've done that 100 times. So there's anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 shooters that I've been exposed to as a student. I've done class after class after class where they're my own classes. All of those have 20-ish people in them. I've seen maybe 4,000, 5,000 people shooting guns in a really intimate setting where you're getting to watch what's happening. I watch guns every make and model break. Every make and model break. I had 2 Canics. Somebody just said Canics. We had 2 Canics in one class break. Had a guy with, what was the last class? CZ, 2 beautiful CZs, brand new CZ 75s. One had a red dot, one didn't. They both broke in the same class. They weren't modified. They were good guns. They broke. We run the guns hard. If you ask me what broke, I think one of them was a trigger return spring broke, which happens a lot on those CZs. And the other was a hammer spring, I think. I see the M&Ps break. The shit breaks. The stuff breaks. So it's not like, oh, you know, that's like trying to say, okay, what pickup truck doesn't break? None of them. Find the one that you like. Know that you're going to have issues. These guns are going to require you to work on them. Jericho clones, yeah, if you want such a thing. Anything man-made will break. Anything not man-made is going to break. None of us have ever met anything that lived forever. So, you know, I never got vested into the M&Ps. You guys wouldn't even want to hear how many magazines are here. I mean, there's hundreds of magazines. You go buy one pistol, not you need 10, 12 magazines. You got another gun, you need 10, 12 magazines, 10, 12 magazines, 10, 12 magazines, so on and so forth. And the one thing I like about Glock is, you know, this Glock 26, I can take the magazine from the 17, from the 19, and I can feed them all into this 26. By the way, that's a beautiful little carry gun. Now this one's not stock. Bore Sight Solutions again, Apex Trigger. Look for them on a future podcast. I'll be visiting them on our class in Arizona. I'm actually, while in Arizona, I'm going to go do a podcast with Apex. I'm going to do a podcast with the guys at Tango Down. And then I'm going to be with Bore Sight Solutions, who you've seen in many of our videos. Ben's a close personal friend of mine. I'm going to go do one of our shop tours at Ben's shop this month when we're in South Florida. This is a great little gun. Ameriglow sights, just, you know, dynamite blaster. But the Glock, you can really, there's just easy interchangeability. And yes, you've got that with the M&Ps. M&P was late to the game. They make a great gun. It's just, I'm not going to go buy all that stuff. Holsters, it's crazy. Hard to install Apex triggers. I personally suggest, if you're going to do any of that stuff, have a licensed Glock or licensed gunsmith or armorer do it. Doesn't mean it's hard. I've got friends that are not mechanics that have rebuilt transmissions. That's not really what I'm saying, though. Best carry round? These kinds of questions are, again, what's the best truck? I carry and I use Supervel solid copper ammo. Supervel solid copper ammo is some of the best stuff on the market. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We've got videos up here. Look, that's one of those. That's a 9mm that I collected out of ballistics gel. It's 115 grain 9mm solid copper. Here's a 10mm. It's got some cloth in it because I shot it through a shirt. Look at that 10mm and a 9mm little baby. Put it in front of my shirt so you can see the size difference. Supervel does not, they're not going to probably make 40 anytime soon. They've got 10. 40 just has died. They've got 10mm. I have told them it would be nice to get them to make a run. Yeah, Paul Harris does some good reviews. I've never met Paul. I've watched some of his stuff. But I'm really into empirical data. That's why you don't see me just shooting shit and saying like, look, I'm shooting water jugs. That's not telling us what we want. We want real data. So if you're asking me my thoughts on other stuff, this should tell you all you need to know. You asked me what I use. I told you. What does that tell you? Something else cool about Supervel, so check this out. Let's see this. So I've told you this before. Supervel invented the jacketed hollow point. Check these out. These are boxes. This one's 44 mag. So I don't want to dump them on the floor. These are from the 1960s, okay? This is ammo. Somebody would have bought this to load their own. So they bought the bullets from Supervel. Supervel designed the jacketed hollow point, okay? Any jacketed hollow point round that you're carrying today, any of them came from Lee Juris's science. You dig? Spear Gold Dot. They make a great round that's super tested. So when I'm talking about something that has data, I'm talking about real world testing. I can go in the range and I can shoot a bunch of shit up. We did a Supervel video with legit high speed, you know, $50,000 camera that we rented and shot up soup cans and all kinds of crud. You can go watch it on the channel here. That's all I got, guys. Oh, I got one of these. I've got to get out to the range and shoot. I haven't done yet. Weird. What'd you guys miss? It just said that we discoed and now we're back connected. The Hellcat. Not gonna lie, I did not pay for this. That won't change my review of it though. I'm not a gun reviewer. I never wanted to be, which is why you don't see me taking all these different guns to the range and reviewing them. Guys do that because it gets them channel views. I actually don't care about channel views. I'm going to put out what I want to put out, and if people want to see it, cool. If people don't want to see it, that's cool too. The people that want to see it are the people that I want to interact with, which I'm assuming is you. That's why you're here. So I got to tell you before I say goodnight, because I got to get to the range bright and early, that I really appreciate you. It truly humbles me that you folks would take your time to hear the little bit of stuff that I learned. I would also have to tell you that I would be a complete fraud if I didn't tell you that almost everything I know is something taught to me by somebody that's done this stuff before me. Almost every single thing I know. So there's some things I might have made my own take on, things I might have added my life experience to, but almost everything came from dudes that instructed me, guys that mentored me, guys like my friend Bob Housingame, Mas Ayub, Dave Harrington, my friend Paul Sharp. I've talked to you guys about a lot of these people over the time that we've been on social media. And there's a plethora of amazing knowledge out there. I challenge you to go get it. I challenge you to read the books written by the greats. And you know what? There's nothing new. The book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, I don't care if you're religious or not. I'm not. But I know the scripture. My father was a minister, so I remember these things. There's nothing new under the sun. There is nothing. Yes, you could say, well, Mickey, there wasn't guns. No. I'm talking about the modality of how we train, how we learn, how we grow, how we become successful or lack of success. All of that is the same thing that worked for ancient man as today. It required the same things: a concerted effort, a plan, follow through, self-honesty, self-awareness. So I'm telling you, I appreciate you taking the time to share with me, because when I do these live chats like this, I've said this on Instagram chats, it's just as much of a cathartic exercise for me to talk through my thoughts as it is for you to learn something, because it allows me to just have this stream of consciousness and get out ideas and get out thoughts that would be impossible for me to just talk to a mirror, right? Or to pen this, because you guys ask things and it maybe diverts the conversation. So I appreciate you. I wish you well. Hey, if you guys like this channel, share it with your friends, man. Take one of these videos and blast it out on your Facebook page. I never really liked when I watch a video and somebody tells me, hey, click right here, like, subscribe. I figure you're already here. I don't want to beg you to do those things, but if you do, I'd appreciate it. If you share this stuff, maybe not this video, but any one that you like. If you're not subscribed, don't. But do have rational thought about what I'm saying. Sometimes I know I can come off I guess know-it-all would be a good way. The things that I talk to you about, I do know about. You're not going to hear me ever get vehement like I do talking about ladies' makeup, talking about the best time to plant petunias, talking about the best tires to put on a Honda Accord. I don't know about those things, but if it's something that I've invested thousands and thousands of hours of my life and thousands of dollars of my resources and treasure in, you're damn right, 100% that I will tell it to you straight, because it's not just opinion at that point. At that point, it is the collective of all the people that have come through my life to share what they know with me, people that have done the same thing. So I hope you got something out of that. I appreciate you. Remember the things that we talked about. Let's recap them. Number one, why are you going to the range? What do you want to get out of it? So once you're there, if you got 100 rounds, 200 rounds, no matter what you do, work on solid mechanics. Make sure the way that you grip the gun, make sure the way that you manipulate the gun is the way that you want to do it for real. Every time you touch your gun, tell yourself this before you get into a process. It might look just like this. Hey, Mick, you are right now training with a tool that can take life and save life. Treat it as such. And then I would tell myself this, Mick, what you're doing right now ain't no joke. Get into it, brother. And I would. And then I would tell myself, is what you're doing the way that you want your body to output the information if you had to save your own skin, or worse yet, your most loved and prized possessions, your family? I hope so. So, perfect mechanics. Number two, accuracy. Number three, do some reps in and out of the holster, single shots and then double shots onto a target zone. You can do all of this. Remember that drill we talked about, drawing, shooting two? You can do that all on a small target too if you're good. Then we're going to do draw and move. Same target or a smaller target. And then you're going to do draw, move in multiple hits. Then we're going to do multiple targets. Could be 2-2, 2-2, 1-1, 2-2. You make it up as you go, but have a specific purpose. Don't just waste ammo. Then we're going to shoot another group or two if you've got the ammo left to close it out. Think about this. Every time you touch your gun, you are ingraining a habit, good, bad, right, or wrong. Is that habit the thing that you want with you the day that you may have to save your skin? Is that thing that habit the habit that you want with you the day that you might have to save your partner, a member of your community? That's all I got. Be good. How do I hang it up? Bye now.